You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Tallison Teixeira takes on Justin Tafa this Saturday at UFC 312 on the main card. And this is kind of a lame fight to have on the main card, honestly. This card's kind of weak in general. I understand Justin Tafa coming out of Australia. Both these guys kind of heavyweight bangers. Going to put on probably an entertaining fight. One of them's probably going to go to sleep, but still, just don't feel like this one's main card worthy. Justin Tafa, just another one of those brute heavyweight bangers. Not a lot of ground game, not a lot of takedown defense. Just going to go out there and, throw big hooks, throw big leg kicks, look to get the knockout. Tallison Teixeira coming off of a win. I almost said impressive win, but I don't know how impressive it was, against Arthur Lopez on Dana White's Contender Series. Ended up knocking the guy out, Arthur Lopez, who kind of just left his chin out there to be hit, hands down. So great knockout, just not really sure how much we learn about Teixeira from that win. Tallison Teixeira, big guy, 6'7", 83-inch reach, only 25 years old, 7-0. Has a lot of finishes in his career. All finishes, actually. 7 finishes, some by one by submission, majority of them by knockout. So primarily looking to strike in this one, but could get the fight to the ground if he wanted to. I don't know if he will, though. Justin Tafa, 7-4 as a heavyweight, 31 years old, 6 foot, 74-inch reach. So Teixeira's gonna have a 9-inch reach advantage and a 7-inch height advantage. Justin Tafa's had some okay wins in the UFC recently, coming off of a loss to Carl Williams, where he was just kind of out-wrestled and controlled on the ground. Before that, he did knock out Austin Lane, who's a big guy in himself at 6'6", so he has shown an ability to handle these taller guys and land finishing blows against them. But Austin Lane, again, not the greatest fighter in the world. But the other thing is I don't really know how good Tallison Teixeira is. It's hard to find his fights online. I look at his record. It's a lot of bums. 0-1, 1-1, 4-15, 2-1, 2-1. So it's hard to really get a handle on how good this Tallison Teixeira guy is. But back to Tafa, he's got good wins, some knockouts, but it's against Austin Lane, Parker Porter, Harry Hunsucker. He's losing to Jared Vandera, Carlos Felipe, Yorgan De Castro. He's just very 50-50 fighter, and there's no real test that I'm seeing him pass with flying colors. If you've got grappling, you're gonna beat him. If you're a decent striker, you might beat him. I just have to go with Tallison Teixeira in this one. Very unproven in my mind, but he's young. He's undefeated. He shows ability to finish fights. A lot of momentum behind him. Tafa's shown to struggle against guys that can use their height and their reach advantage to kind of just keep him at bay. And it's hard to bet against a guy who's undefeated, who's 6'7". He's going to be 6 years younger, going to have a 9-inch reach advantage. It's just hard to pick against somebody like that when your opponent's Justin Tafa, who I think that Teixeira knows that he's just got to, he can game plan against somebody like Tafa very easily, who's just going to be throwing big hooks, big punches. He knows he's going to have almost a foot in reach advantage. He knows that Tafa's not going to shoot on him. So he's got a very, very easy skill set to game plan against. And so I just got to go with Teixeira. I think that Tafa could catch him. I think that we could see a fraud check of Tallison Teixeira, just because we don't really know how good he is yet, just because he's got 7 wins against subpar competition and 1 on the Dana White's Contender Series against a guy with 5 or 6 fights. It just doesn't, I'm not convinced of him yet. I am convinced that Justin Tafa is a middle-of-the-road heavyweight, just kind of a big guy, overweight heavyweight with striking skills, who, if he lands on the button, he'll put you out. But really, that's anybody at heavyweight. So, it's hard to say. But I'm going to go with Tallison Teixeira in this one. I think he's going to be able to to land more than Justin Tafa. I think he's going to be able to dictate the fight on the feet, kind of boss him around the octagon, just with his he has good punches, straight punches, decent striking. I just don't know what his chin's like, and we don't know really what happens when he faces a little bit of adversity. A lot of his fights are ending in the first round. All of his fights ending in the first round. So who's to say what happens when he takes a few strides from Tafa, gets to the end of the second round, into the third round, kind of what's he look like? Because, again, unproven guy. But I think he'll get this one done. I think he'll be able to either TKO or decision Justin Tafa just by landing the better strikes and being able to use that range to dictate the fight. So I'm going to go with Teixeira. I think he can probably TKO Tafa within the first or second round, but if he can't, I think he'll do enough to outpoint him and get a decision. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think Tafa with more UFC experience is going to get this one done, or if we're going to see Teixeira get his 8th win in a row. So let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys.